basically on stage I look a bit like something out of Star Wars. By accident, even though Star Wars was my favourite movie growing up as a kid, but by accident I think that my subconscious has designed a live set which is basically Return of the Jedi. So there's lots of sort of tube lighting and you know, there's lots of it looks like I'm the Emperor in Star Wars. It looks like I'm controlling everything with my evil hands. I moved to Vienna from London 6 years ago, something like that. Simply because I was just really bored of London, you know, because I felt like London's such a huge city and such a huge sort of community of, in particular with music as well, you know, you're trying to get somewhere in music and London is huge and intimidating and you don't really know what you're meant to do or where you're meant to go and I'd been playing some shows like under different things and bands and stuff like that, and I'd ended up playing a few shows in Austria and made a lot of friends there, and before I knew it people were saying, why don't you just move here, it'd be cool, we'd like to have you here. And I thought, yeah, alright, so I just moved and that was it, yeah. I'd done about a year and a half, 2 years of touring solidly, and as these things do happen, you know, with the private life in particular of musicians who toured a lot, kind of by the time I found my way back to Vienna, it wasn't really my home anymore. And so it was a kind of weird situation where you've been only looking 1 or 2 days ahead, and then suddenly the tour ends and you see a huge period of time stretching out in front of you, and you think, well, what do I do now? You know, where do I go? Because this is no longer my home. So I'd already I'd been out in Los Angeles a few times doing production work and songwriting work for some other people, and then I was going to go there for 2 months at the beginning of the year to record for myself, and then I just realised that I just should live there, you know. And that was it. Touring has definitely inspired me, but more in terms of what it has done to me as a person. Like which sort of things I had to let go in order to tour mentally. You know, it's a kind of amazingly weird life, touring, you know, where you have to just decide that you're not in charge anymore. You have to sort of just decide, well, I'm going to arrive somewhere, I'm not really going to know what's going to happen, and I have to just be fine with that, because there's no point in planning anything when you're on tour at all, you know. You never know when the plans just change, and if you're a really rigid-minded person, you won't like touring. It's just, you know, being on tour kind of does make you, it makes you really dumb in the end, because you're on tour with the same maybe 6, 7, 8 people, and you already know everything about each other. You already, you know, you got through that point where you were all funny, like, because you just met each other and you're making each other laugh, and then you just start making each other laugh about the same things repeatedly, which is really, that's why when bands come into a place like this and you meet the crew and everything, the crew must be thinking every band is an idiot, because we're all just laughing and joking about the dumbest stuff. And we have this game that we play called Inner World, where you do like a movie trailer, and you have to each explain a piece of what's going to happen in the movie, but nobody knows what it's about. So someone starts with Inner World, and the next person says, you know, like, we're one man, and the next one goes on and says, fights against the odds, and the last one will say, in a dock sanctuary or something like that. So we play that a lot, and yeah, just play cards with each other and stuff. It was a big lesson for me to learn that If you're worried about what other people think of you and what you're doing, you're never going to be happy, because they don't know what they think of you and they don't really care. You know, everyone just, if I meet you and you tell me you want to do X, Y, Z, I'm not going to judge that as a person having just met you. But you might think, I'm going to tell you about X and Y, but not Z, because maybe you think that that's dumb or whatever. So my thing is just do everything you want to do. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing whatever you want, basically. The most stupid thing I ever found about myself on the internet, people have put up lyrics of what they think I'm singing, because I don't really enunciate amazingly in when I'm singing. But that's really funny, because on some of the songs, and then you see people covering the songs using the wrong lyrics, you know, because the lyrics have been put up by someone, bless their heart, you know, they've been put up by someone lovingly thinking that they've got the lyrics right and put it online, and then someone covers it using those lyrics, and that's kind of hilarious. So there's one, a song of mine called Blood Flows, where it says, shotgun poetry, crack the whip again, make me see, sharpen your knives for me, infiltrate the mind, the body, right? So it's sharpen your knives for me. But on the wrong thing, on the mistake, someone thought that I'd sung Chopin, the composer, ain't nice for me. Chopin ain't nice for me. It was sharpen your knives for me, but they wrote Chopin ain't nice for me. And then I saw someone cover the song and they're like, Chopin ain't nice for me. And I just found that hilarious. Yeah.
Shotgun poetry, crack the whip again, make me see. Sharpen knives for me, infiltrate the mind, body.